Hey, what it do? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Will. This is where we get into the entire multiverse of pop culture, music, anime, comic books, you name it. We talk about it around these parts. And today, we're going to be talking about a very special band, one of my all-time favorite musical artists in any genre, but one of my favorite artists ever, the goats of pop punk. That's right, I'm talking about Blink-182, and we're going to be discussing their latest release, the long-anticipated return of Blink after 20 years, proper 10-ish years if you want to count neighborhoods, I guess. So fuck it, 10-ish years. It's Blink-182's One More Time. We're getting into the whole review, my thoughts on it, my background as a Blink fan. So with no further ado, let's get it.
What's up? What the fuck is up, Denny's?
And starting off here, just giving y'all a little bit of context and background for myself as a Blink fan. I'm a huge Blink fan. I've always loved Blink. I've loved Blink since I was literally between the ages of 4 and 5. I heard What's My Age Again in 1999 on a mixtape that my mom got at work with a lot of different big hits, you know what I'm saying? You Only Get What You Give, Mambo Number 5, Someday by Sugar Ray, Tonic, If You Could Only See, like a lot of really dope jams from back in the late 90s, early 2000s, or late 90s really. And that's what turned me on to Blink right then. What's My Age Again? That was literally the first song I ever heard from the band. And from that point on, I loved that song and wanted to know who that band was as I got a little bit older and started to discover music. About 4 or 5, I'd say about 4 to 5 years later, when I was around 8 or 9 years old, I started watching MTV a lot, seeing a lot of videos from like the the early 2000s and things like that. And back at that time, it was 2003, 2004. So Blink was still around, but had just recently broke up and did the self-titled album, aka Untitled, aka Blink-182, whatever the hell you want to call it. So at this point, it was kind of the prime of Blink, but sort of the end of the trio that we knew and loved of Mark, Tom, and Travis. And I was just totally getting into the Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, the second album of this like big run, and getting into the pre-Travis stuff with the Scott stuff with, Buddha, Cheshire Cat, all that good jazz, and getting into all the early stuff with Blink and kind of doing my homework, so to speak, and just instantly became a super fan, started discovering a lot of other pop punk bands. Emo was huge at the time, got into some of the scene shit, easycore, all this other stuff. But Blink is really one of those first artists that really influenced me to really enjoy and end up loving and performing rock music myself. So it's a really big, huge influence on me, man. Travis being one of my all-time favorite drummers, Travis Barker, no duh. Instantly one of the main people that made me want to pick up the drumsticks and learn to play. All these years later, now I'm officially a drummer. Now I'm actually playing. Now I'm actually doing shows with a band. Now I'm actually really pursuing that dream that I had from the ages of like 6, 7 years old. And Blink was one of those bands that really inspired me to want to do it. And over the years, I don't think necessarily their output has been as strong post self-titled album as untitled, whatever, post untitled album as it has been prior to that in the late 90s, early 2000s. But still, I'm always going to love Blink. I recently even got the chance to see them earlier, late June over there at BMO Stadium in LA. Got to see Turnstile open up. Boys Hey Girls Hey Boys, or whatever the hell the band name is. They were pretty sick too. It was the very, very opening band. Blink absolutely killed it, did their thing, and I think have actually improved as performers overall. Now, Tom is not necessarily an excellent vocalist, but he does his thing and has fun, and their banter is just unmatched, and you can tell that they're fully back in the swing of things, fully really back as homies, really feeling that brothership and really feeling the kinship they have for each other, and seem like they have a little bit more respect for each other and what they've done over the years, all their contributions to the band. And it just seems like the happy-go-lucky trio that we all fell in love with to begin with, and saw them American Pie, watching Jim try to run over there and catch Nadia changing and whatnot. And don't cancel me, that's just a goddamn scene in the movie. But anyways, so yeah, that's my background as a Blink fan. But now let's get into this album proper. So it all kind of started back when they released the single Edging last year, which is the 9th track on this album. And instantly, Blink fans were excited and hyped about it. They announced that they were going to be going on tour, which is the whole Turnstile tour and everything that we recently, a lot of fans like myself recently attended and stuff this past year and everything like that. And then they finally announced one more time the album is dropping. Didn't know how many songs it was going to have. And then they started releasing a series of singles, with those being Dance With Me, one More Time, of course. First time we ever had Travis Barker on vocals, by the way, which, if that's ultimately true and he really did those vocals, not bad. Not bad. More Than You Know. And I think When We Were Young might have been released pre album release as well. Might have been leaked. I'm not 100% sure, but we saw so everyone was hyped from the second that they announced the Blink album was coming. We're going to be getting another tour as well to support this album next year in 2024, starting in the springtime, going into like midsummer and all that. Hopefully, I'll maybe get a chance to check that out. I think Pierce the Veil is going to be supporting them, so not a big fan of them, but they're definitely a very seasoned, well-respected band in the genre between emo and pop punk, whatever you want to call it. So, I'm sure it will be a well put together show, but we'll see. Your boy might be getting tickets to it. We'll see. Got another tour in mind that I'm really interested in. Got tickets to Brave New World. A little bit of a topic for a different day, but hey, just, life updates, right? But anyway, so with this album, they released the singles, and I gotta say, off the bat, most of the singles I thoroughly dug, especially Dance With Me. I absolutely love that song. That shit sounds like pure classic Blink, but pure pop punk, and maybe pure punk, really, the most punk they've probably sounded in years, I would say. Just like pure raw punk rock, I feel like, with that Blink-182 upbeat flavor and catchiness of the hook. You know what I'm saying? Really, really dug that song. One More Time is a fucking tearjerker. It's a heart wrencher. It always hits me close to home with people that I've lost personally in my life, some of the closest people to me. And, it always really rings true with, why does it take these big catastrophes? Why does it take losing a loved one to truly appreciate them and let them know that you love them and you're here for them sometimes, and you let the bullshit get in the way? And not that I necessarily had beef with the people that I lost or anything of that nature, similar to Blink, but just the way they put it in context with their relationship and friendship together, and their relationship as brothers, and with Tom and Travis being childhood friends. With Tom and Mark being childhood friends, and then Travis obviously being friends with them and colleagues for well over 20 years now. It's deep shit, 25 years, something like that. So, these guys go way back, and it's really awesome to see them really put their shit out there and really talk about, something that's very relatable for all of us out there, and for anyone out there that's not even a Blink fan. So I think this is a song that's similar to like Adam's song, really stands apart from the rest of their catalog, and I think is going to live on through the annals of history a little bit more. Not anals, you nasties. Annals. You get it. But yeah, and with the main single too, Edging, I actually really love that song. I love the really basic, like, just catchy, like, kind of classic punk rock energy that it has, with the overall like drum beat and rhythm to it as well with Travis. I really dig what he does there, and adding in those rudiments as he generally tends to do with the fills and everything, but keeping it kind of nice and simple and a little bit more simplistic than what normally Travis is playing, because he be getting pretty crazy on this. Like More Than You Know, track 6 of the album, she's going straight double bass, Anthem Part 3, straight up double bass kick, double kick drum, you know what I'm saying? So he's really going all in with this one, and really kind of stepping up his drumming from even what we've heard before in the past. It's really cool getting to see them bring back a Boxcar Racer song with Terrified, track 4. And I really, really dug that one. Fell in Love is another really catchy one that's maybe a bit overproduced, but I still really thoroughly dig that song. And yeah, man, like the first 10 songs in this album, especially track 10, You Don't Know What You've Got, that is my absolute favorite song on this album.
Wiped out a year like we've swept under the pier. Long weeks of impending doom, stuck in life's waiting room, always so close to good.
I love that song. It sounds like everything perfect about self-titled Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, kind of the late the late years of the first real big era of Blink. I like how they kind of bring back some of that untitled flavor with newer production techniques, and with this overall somberness and this overall what's the word? This overall, not somberness as well, but the vulnerability that they're bringing to the songwriting and the things that Mark is talking about with his overall struggles with cancer and and fortunately being able to beat it. You know what I'm saying? Is beautiful stuff, man. And I just think the overall lyricism on that song is just so well done. All the the melody is just so fucking good. Like, I just absolutely love that song. Like, track 10, You Don't Know What You've Got, one of the best songs Blink's written in years and put out. Absolutely love it. But this album isn't without its flaws, though, if I'm going to keep it real, all right? Now, I will say, tracks 11 to 6 to 17, like the last, like, 7 songs, really, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that you really should keep, I would say, that are, like, fairly, really solid, and maybe I could see them keeping on the album to kind of sprinkle it out and maybe fill up the time a little bit. I do like the short song, Turn This Off. I do like the Bad News, or not Bad News, sorry, the Hurt interlude. Those ones are cool. Fuckface, I could have got rid of, though, personally. Other Side, I don't think was that great. Childhood, I don't think was that great. I did like Turpentine a lot, and I did like Blink Wave. Okay, I like how they were kind of doing a little more indie, new wave, kind of Cure, Joy Division kind of flavor, which you don't normally hear with Blink, so it was kind of cool the way they were kind of able to bring that out. And they kind of played with some of those sounds with the Matt Skiba era, but this feels a lot more classic Blink and a little bit more organic to the band and feels a little bit more close to home while trying something new. So I do appreciate that, but I think they could have trimmed a few songs off this album, no doubt, for sure, and just shorten the length just a little bit, because to me, man, this album, like I said, the first 10 tracks, it's like firing pretty much on all cylinders. I really fucking like this album. This is really, this is definitely, definitively, without a doubt, big words. That's what we fucking do around here. This is the best freaking album they've released in years. In my personal opinion, this is the best album since Untitled. Easy. This is the best album they've done in 20 years. This, to me, is almost the perfect blend of everything you love about Blink while trying something new and updating it to today and continuously evolving, which is one thing that Blink has, for the most part, been pretty well at doing and haven't necessarily peaked super early and never able to make any content quality out of that. Now, like I said, this isn't necessarily top tier peak Blink, but this is super close, and I think it may be the closest we ever get to it. I really fucking like this album. If you're on the fence about checking it out and weren't really sure if you wanted to dive all in and you're a little hesitant, have a little bit of trepidation going into it, being a lifelong Blink fan like myself, trust me, it's definitely worth a listen. You definitely want to give it a fair shot. I really do think this is some of their best work in a long time. And a few songs on here, like You Don't Know What You've Got, One More Time, More Than You Know, I say are 3 of the best songs they've ever made. Personally, to me, I think are 3 of the best songs they've ever written. Not the best, but I'm just saying it's in the overall lexicon of the greatest hits of Blink. To me, those 3 definitely fall into that category. So I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of this album. It's starting to grow on me more and more as I listen to it. And I don't necessarily want to give a ranking to this one since I have such a bias to Blink overall, but it's definitely like a B tier Blink album. It's definitely not quite the upper crust, but it's real close. It's definitely worth your time. It's got some really great jams on there and some really fun stuff that I definitely want to learn as a drummer and percussionist myself. And a lot of you out there as musicians, I think, can really help up your game as well. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed the album. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comments below. I know my bandmate Aaron was a little more on the fence with this one, but I would love to hear what he has to say about it. So I'll have to shoot him a link to this so we can get his opinions in there. And maybe I'll do a follow-up on this one because I am going to be doing a blink-182 album tier ranking of all the albums from the beginning with the Scott era through the Matt Skiba to today, through One More Time. We're going to do all the albums. I'm going to rank them from, complete trash all the way to S tier. Is there any trash Blink albums? You'll have to wait to find out. That'll probably be the last Blink video for a while. I do have some other Blink content specially planned for the end of the month. Might be a video, might be audio only. I'm still trying to decide on how I'm going to do it. All depends on, availability and free time and whatnot, because this work schedule is fucking killing me, y'all. But we're going to make it happen. Appreciate each and every one of you for checking this out. Going to make sure to get this on the podcast feed as well so you can listen to it on your drive, on your way to work, whatever. A little bit of a shorter one than some of the longer form stuff we do on the audio podcast feed. But hopefully you're hearing this on there as well. Love and appreciate each and every one of you subscribers, listeners, watchers, the whole 9 yards. I really do appreciate all the love and support you show the channel. Let's continue to grow this awesome community and keep that positivity going in the world of fandom. Once again, it's Blink-182, baby. They're back. and hopefully this is the beginning of the new era and maybe one of the best eras to come for Blink. Who knows? Much love to each and every one of you. Peace out, and we'll catch you on the next one.